Hi, I'm Sunil Tulsiani, founder of Private Investment Club. Today, I am so excited, like I say, almost for every guest, but today I'm truly honored to have my good friend, Sadhna Savarwal. Sadhna has been with Private Investment Club since almost the inception of PIC, or Private Investment Club. And I've known her for almost 14 years. And I consider her to be my adopted sister. She is a single mom turned real estate millionaire. She is a real estate investor. She is a mentor. She's a coach. She's an author. She's just amazing. Sadhna, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sunil, for having me.
You're very welcome. Most people know you already who are part of our Private Investment Club community. But in case the people who are watching us, they're new, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you said, my name is Sadhna Sabarwal. I've been learning real estate investing for quite a while now. I've done a lot of no money down. That's been my forte. I've done a lot of real estate investing, no money down. I do hold a full-time job, so this has been my side hustle. But let me tell you, the side hustle has made me more money than my regular job where I work 40 hours a week or something.
Wow, that's awesome. Tell us a little bit more about that, because a lot of people tend to not know, how do you do this part-time? You're a real estate investor. You've done really well, and nothing down. You talked about a lot of these things. Tell us a little bit about how does somebody like yourself goes out. Did you have a lot of real estate experience before?
No, I had no experience at all. My only thing is I work at a law office. That's all.
And your real estate experience, a lot of people tell me you can't do nothing down, no money down deals. Are these deals in the United States or in Canada?
I have only invested in Ontario, Canada.
Wow, awesome. Okay, sounds good. So tell us about, and we're going through some interesting times right now. Tell us your take on coronavirus and what's going on.
I feel it's a chance for us to stop and take note. I mean, coronavirus came into everybody's life, and it's a global pandemic, as we call it. However, I feel like it's a time for us to stop and think and replan. So if we didn't have something like this, we're just going every day like chickens with our heads cut off. Nobody has the time to stop and be present in the moment. So this is the time for us to connect with ourselves, connect with our family, and connect and be present within ourselves. I have actually used this time so much that I've learned meditating. I have gone out for a walk. I'll just go sit in the sun. I look up at the sun early in the morning, of course, when it's not too hot yet. And I can actually feel the energy being drawn to me.
Wow, that's awesome. What else are you doing these days for example, what are you doing to look after yourself health-wise?
I think this is, again, just eating good food, meditating, as I said. I think this is, for me, because I'm always on the go. Like I said, I work full time, and then I have this as a side hustle, so I don't really take care of myself. So I'm actually taking this opportunity to take care of myself, eating well, eating healthier. And the one thing that I've done, as I said, is I'm meditating a lot more, which is giving me a chance to go inside and be able to connect with myself. As long as you take care of your food, your health, and also they're talking about drinking hot water. Is it as big as everybody's making it out to be? Yes. So all we can do is just take care of ourselves and be ready and be prepared for what's to come, because we're going to need all that energy.
So what should people who are sitting at home, we got meditation, we got eating health. Is there anything else would you advise for people that are full-time, they have a full-time job, they have businesses? What can they do while they're at home right now with their families? Is there anything else you would suggest?
Well, what I've done is I had a few books that I hadn't read, or I finished some of the books that I had started. So I just finished reading a book called Art of Happiness by Dalai Lama. Then I had taken a couple of courses, which was, one of them is Jack Canfield's Train the Trainer. So I've actually pulled that out of my closet and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I've watched a lot of webinars on the stuff that interests me. And I think as long as you're not feeding into the fear frenzy that the media is putting out there, you'll be fine. As long as you can just, as I said, be within yourself and not listen to all the negative stuff that's out there, you'll be okay, because you can't change what's out there. All we have is we can control what we have. So if I take care of myself, everything else that comes from me will take care of itself.
How do you deal with fear? Or how does one deal with fear these days if they have fear?
I think the first and foremost thing we have to remember is that God is in control. For me, I find my faith is there. If I have God on my side, everything else will be taken care of. So if faith is the first and foremost thing, and then what else can I do as far as my part is concerned? So fear, what does fear come from? Most of the time from negative talking. Then from watching people, when people are watching news, what is news giving us? All they're saying is this many people died, this many people died. But how many people do we know directly that have passed away? I'm not talking, I heard from this person to this person to this person. No. How many people do I know that have passed away directly from COVID-19? I don't know anybody. Yes, there have people who have lost their lives. And yes, it's bad for, like, I feel bad for that. But there is no need for me to bring that negativity into my life.
Okay, awesome. How do you deal with watching news? How do you control that, if you do or not?
I don't watch news. Ever since I became your student, I do not turn on my TV. I always feel if it's worth knowing, somebody else will tell me anyways, because that will be the topic of discussion at the water cooler, or anybody else, any friend who'll call you, say, oh, did you hear about this? So if it's newsworthy and if it's supposed to come to me, it will come to me. Other than that, I don't even put on the radio at 6:80. Yes, I'll hear it for the traffic or something. But that's one thing you have taught me. Do not feed into the news, because it's nothing. All they're doing is selling their channel. There really isn't anything else they're doing.
They're selling fear. They're selling fear.
And that's what they make money off of. We're not here to do that. We're here to tell you, calm down, spend the money, spend the time, go within, improve yourself as a person, because the person you will become during these times will be able to make you a better human being.
Okay, let's do this. You bought many properties. How many doors, and over what period of time? How many doors have you invested in, and for what period of time?
Altogether, I would say I have bought and even now sold over 30 properties. Okay. My maximum, the highest number at one time was I had 18 properties, which was 46 doors. Wow. And now that the kids have grown up, I don't really need that many doors, let's say, to watch over. And I know the kids may or may not be doing real estate investing. So I've sold off a lot. And also, I think the reason I wanted to get into real estate was because I needed the money to pay for my kids' tuitions and all. Now, all three of them are done. One of them is still in school, but it's like last year. So pretty much done.
Okay.
So right now I have 6 doors left.
6 doors. Okay, awesome. Which was the last, when was it and where was it?
I did a deal in 2018 in Sudbury. We bought an estate sale property, fixed it up and sold it. Okay. It was with a JV partner. Somebody brought me that deal. He did the fix up after that, and I put in all the money and we shared the profits 50-50.
Okay, so somebody brought you a deal and you put 100% of the money, and that person didn't put any money.
Correct. Okay, they put in the work.
They sweat equity. Right? So give me another example of a property or real estate that you did where there was nothing down for you, and maybe it is joint venture, maybe it's some other strategy that you used.
Well, one I can say is, I'm thinking, should I give you the best deal or the not so great deal?
The best deal.
I'm sorry?
Give us your best deal.
Okay. So my best deal has been a 5-plex in Georgetown.
Okay, tell me.
I bought it with a partner, a JV partner. He put in all the money. I brought the deal. I found the deal. I found or arranged the mortgage on it. We fixed it up. We bought it for $270, and now the property is worth over $1.3 million.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, awesome. And so in this
That's
case,
the short version.
yes, and it's a 5-plex, and what does it produce? Cash flow?
It produces shitload of cash flow.
Congratulations. Okay, so
Sure, I can't say the other word, but it produces shitload of cash flow.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So what do you say to people who say that you can't invest in real estate, or what would you say to anybody who's thinking of investing in real estate?
I think it's always a good time to invest.
Okay.
You just have to find the right deal.
Okay.
That's all. Really, if you know what you're looking for me, my first and foremost is cash flow.
Yes.
Does the property cash flow? If it cash flows, I'll do the next step. And then the next step and the next step. I won't buy it just because it might go up in value.
How important is cash flow?
For me, that's number one. Like I said, if it does not cash flow, I won't go and look any further than that.
Okay, awesome. Is there a type of properties that you look for? Is there a formula to look for a property that when somebody brings it to you, you go, okay, this is the right formula?
Well, first of all, I will always look for somebody that's below market value.
So you like properties below market value. Go on.
That's the very first criteria, because that allows me to see how much money I can make from that deal. So if something is 25% below market value, I've already made the money when I bought the property. And yes, I mean, majority of the times I like to buy and hold, because then they will produce cash flow for me.
Okay. How do you find below market value? Give us one place where you are able to find properties.
Okay. So this property that came from Sudbury
Yes.
Was an estate sale. And as a matter of fact, the person who brought it to me had just found it on Kijiji.
Wow. And
so the deals are everywhere. You just have to look at the right places.
Okay. All right. Give us another way that that another deal came to you, let's say. So one is from Kijiji, let's say. Where else?
Yes. The other thing that I always say, as long as we have our mouth going, we're in business. Okay. So anytime I meet somebody, I ask them, do you know of anybody who is looking to sell a property, who may have inherited a property and wants to just get rid of it? And as a matter of fact, as I was saying about the deal in Georgetown that came through, I was talking to one of the mortgage brokers, and I asked, do you get any power of sale deals? And he goes, yes, actually, I have one right now. I'll send it to you. And that's how that came about.
Wow. Wow. All right. Sounds good. So somebody who is thinking about getting into business, somebody who's thinking about getting into real estate, and we're going through this interesting times where economically a lot of businesses are closed and we basically are shut down. What prediction would you have, if any? What should somebody do if they're thinking of investing or getting into business now? They're at home. What should they do?
Well, I would suggest sharpen your skills. That's the best advice I can give you. Because at this time, if you are prepared for the times that are going to be coming, you will be able to make some money.
What does that mean? Times? What's coming?
Well, I just feel like there will be a lot of opportunities for investors, not at someone's expense, but there will be opportunities. The economy right now.
Give us an example of what does that mean?
Well, let's say people who are not able to pay mortgage, the banks. I mean, yes, they're all giving you a deferral for 6 months and stuff. And I mean, this is not something that I am saying. It's being said widely enough that there will be a recession. And at recession time, yes, some people lose a lot of value and some people grow. So what part do you want to be in?
Well, yeah, because even when you are during the recession, even if you're buying properties and helping people who are going through some tough times, you're actually helping that person. You're helping the economy, because you want the economy to move, and then when you buy the properties, you tend to make it, you tend to beautify it more so than the way you bought it, which means the area also gets improvement and everything like that. So it's definitely a win-win. And you probably, what do you think happens if there is a recession? If there is a recession, what do most investors do, and what should most investors do, as opposed to what do you do opposed to what most investors do when there's a downturn?
Okay, so for me, I always feel first and foremost, anytime I'm buying a property, I'm helping that person. I'm helping the person who will be living in there after that. I'm helping myself. I'm helping the economy, and I'm helping the area, like you said. So for me, if I am going to buy your house, and also don't forget, if the person who may or may not be losing the house because of whatever circumstances will come, I am going to be helping you get rid of that headache, the stress, saving your credit. So eventually you can get into home buying again. So it's altogether a win-win situation for everybody. Now, when 2008 came about and everybody was saying states was going to be on sale, states going to be on sale, I think we're probably going to see something similar to that. So what's the best thing to do? If you have cash, sit on it, because the opportunities will come. Pretty much, I mean, that's a fact. As I said, that is being said, and I think we will see some of that. But again, I mean, that's what tough times are about.
Yes. Oh, I just when I was talking to Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad, he's actually got several $100 million worth of line of credits lined up. And some people may think that that's not a good thing, because he'll come in and he'll buy the properties that are for example, foreclosed and things like that. But the truth is, when somebody like him doesn't come along and leaves the properties to deteriorate and nobody buys it, and there's no movement in the economy, it takes a lot longer for economy to come back. So somebody like him comes in, he's able to look at the project, he can make it look very nice, and then fix it up a bit, get renters in, and all of a sudden the whole economy comes back faster than if everybody doesn't do anything about it. So your idea of just having access to money is very important one. So in addition to what Sadhna says, if you have money, just hold on to it. I would even say go further, is that if you're able to go to a bank and you're able to get a line of credit, you're able to set it up. It costs you nothing, by the way, unless you use the money. So if you're responsible and you get a line of credit that you won't use other than to acquire asset or businesses that produce cash flow, then you should be okay. So of course you want to think about, there's always going to be a risk. But the whole point here is, I know Sadhna did as well, because I've known her for over 14 years now, that I lost everything in 2008, 2009, but also 2009 and 2010 were the reasons why I made lots of money coming back, because you can buy properties below market value just the way Sadhna does. Okay, so is there anything else would you suggest to somebody who's thinking of, okay, I'm sitting at home, I have no money or I have some money, I'm thinking of generating some cash flow? What would you say that they could do? They can get into business, they can get into some type of businesses or real estate. What should they be doing now? They should be, planning. What should they be doing?
Well, I was going to say, first of all, like you said, making sure you have some credit available. As a matter of fact, I've gotten 2 credit cards in the last a little bit. I've set up a line of credit on another one of my investment properties. So I've got my money lined up. I've also put one of the houses for sale, which I've got about 400,000 in there. So all of that just so I can have some ready cash available when and if needed. And second to that, then if you have a little bit of money, how I started was I started with second mortgages. That give you a lot of return. At that time when I was doing it, you're looking at about 12 to 14% return. So if you've got a little bit of money, I would suggest that's one way to go. And I have done that. And apart from that, what I'm also doing is I'm working on a course that I'm producing, because everywhere I go, people wonder, how do I buy properties with no money down? Yes. And I have done it so many times. So I've thought about it, and I'm going to do an online course, how to buy properties no money down. I am actually looking for maybe 20 people who can give me feedback as to what they would like to see in that course.
Awesome. Awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. I mean, she is the nothing down queen in Ontario. And if you are thinking of buying properties where you don't have lots of money, or you do have money, but you want to start buying more money using nothing down strategies, well, you need to get hold of Sadhna. Sadhna, how do people get hold of you?
Well, you can send me a message through Facebook. You can send me a message at sadhnasabharwal@hotmail.com, through LinkedIn. They can contact your office and they can have my number. I'm around. They can Google me.
Yes, they can.
Also my website.
What is your website?
SingleMomMillionaire.com.
Repeat it slowly, please.
Sorry. www.singlemomMillionaire.com.
That's awesome. Awesome. I just wanted to say that Sadhna talked about a lot of stuff and health and all that stuff. So I'm just going to share with you some of the stuff that that you can do right now. She talked about, you know, learning and all, and reading books. This is one of the books. It's called Secret to Wealth with my good friend Brian Tracy. In here, I talk about 7 steps to becoming wealthy. This is available on Amazon. This is the one we just released, Volume 2, Secret to Wealth, Volume 2. In here, I talk about my 5 a.m. Rituals and what to do. Sadhna talks about not giving up news, for example. There are some rituals you can do, especially in today's day and time. If you do this, it will absolutely change your life completely. It's called Secret to Wealth, Volume 2. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about my book called Secret to Real Estate Wealth. Sadhna talks about you know, what to do next. In here, there are some strategies to figure out where the market is right now. How do you evaluate a market? How do you figure out, is this a good time to buy or not? It's a good place, and should you hold off for how long? And should you buy in Canada? Should you buy in Ontario? Should you buy in the US? It's all in here for you. Again, all these ones are available on Amazon.ca. And before we leave, Sadhna, I'm gonna give a gift, and that is this. If you want to become wealthy or you want to become a millionaire, go to www.makeamillion.net. Makeamillion.net. Get this audiobook from my good friend Brian Tracy, and I look forward to seeing you all at the next expert interview. Sadhna, so wonderful to have you. I love you and thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.